Hey guys, I really hope that you have been enjoying the last couple episodes on our podcast. If this is your first time tuning in, I would recommend that you take a look at the last couple episodes from the end of last week. I wanted to say, hey, you know what's exhausting? And I know you do. Feeling like your whole day is putting out behavior fires. What if we stopped waiting for things to go wrong and started setting up our classrooms for success right from the start? I'm a positive girl. Those of you who know me know I wake up happy. I am smiling. Every day I'm happy. I even love Mondays. But today I want to show you how to help your team create a proactive behavior support system. This will help you minimize meltdowns, prevent those power struggles, and build a calm, structured environment where every child knows what's expected and every teacher feels confident about managing behaviors. And can you just imagine the impact that would have on your business, on your program, and honestly, on your day-to-day life? So I know it has to happen, and you know it has to happen too. So let's start with setting the stage with clear rules and expectations, because children do not automatically know what we expect of them. We have to teach it, we have to model it, and we have to practice it with consistency. If a child is misbehaving, ask yourself, are the expectations clear to them in that moment? And this is something that some of my staff sometimes will struggle with. And I will say to them, I'd love to hear you set the expectation. And they'll say, well, they know, or I've said it once or twice. And I'm thinking to myself, how many times have, excuse me, how many times have I had to tell you something more than once or twice? And you are 35 years old, right? It's human behavior. Sometimes we need to see things, hear things, do things over and over. So let's see how we can coach your team. First of all, visually posted expectations will help. So post 3 to 5 simple, positively worded rules at the child's eye level in every classroom. Use kind words, walking inside, take turns. A pro tip would be adding visual icons next to each rule for your non-readers. This really will help. It also helps put together consistent language from the staff. Ask yourself, are all the team members using the same phrase? Are they saying, remember, we use walking feet instead of stop running, right? And you're probably chuckling right now because they are not all using the same language in most cases. So teach the rules like a lesson plan. Expectations should be introduced during the first weeks of care and then retaught after long weekends, holidays, or any time when the routines have changed. Something you can do as a director is you can create an expectations mini training video or a slide deck for your team that can be reviewed monthly, or even using your morning huddle or your morning meetings to re-practice one expectation each day. Keep it short and keep it fun. Even printed a limited classroom rules anchor chart in every room is helpful. Now, let me tell you, girl, consistency is queen, and you are her coach. You have the best rules in the world, but if the adults aren't consistent, it creates confusion and craziness in your room. Inconsistency feels like instability for kids, and it means behaviors get worse. So it doesn't matter how great you are posting the rules. You're probably saying, Erica, I've got the charts, I've got the visuals, I've got all the things. If you have video in your school, go onto the video and watch to see, are the rules being implemented? How are the teachers responding when they're not followed? Are your teachers following the rules as well? What to look for and what to coach on. Every staff member, are they responding to the behavior in the same way? If one teacher gives a warning and another one skips to consequences, that creates confusion. Ask yourself, are routines and transitions smooth? Transitions are prime time for behavior spirals. You know it. Does everyone follow the same steps for lining up, cleaning up, bathroom routines? And again, we're at the time of year where kids will be moving into new classrooms. Do the adults follow through on what they say? If consequences or redirections are mentioned, does it happen calmly and immediately? Now, you can also, as a director, host a consistency clinic. Staff pick one routine and a script, how they will respond. Post visual cues for routines next to key areas, like the cleanup routine. It might look like Music is on. Step number 1. Step number 2 is pick up the toys. Step number 3 is wash your hands. Step number 4, go to the rug so we can regroup and move on to the next thing. Flow into classrooms and jot down 2 or 3 strengths and maybe one tweak related to consistency and share that at your next check-in, especially if you do one-on-ones. This is a great time to say, hey, when I was in your room, I observed these 8 things that you were doing around behavior management in your classroom. Great job. It looked like maybe the kids were struggling a little around this piece. How can I help you? So we can close that gap. Now you want to also reinforce to build the behaviors you want. Be positive. Again, when we notice praise, it grows. Kids will do more of what gets attention. So let's give attention to the right things. Now, reinforcement is not bribery. It's strategy. And it has to be consistent and meaningful. So things to look for are teachers giving specific praise. Not just good job, but I saw you use gentle hands to pass that toy. That was kind. This reinforcement is genuine, it's immediate, and young children benefit from quick feedback like little stickers, a little stamp, a praise right after the behavior. And, here's another question. Are reinforcement systems easy to use and are they fair? So think about that. A classroom token economy, stickers, charts, or celebration jars can be motivated if they're consistent and accessible to all. As a director, you can build a reinforcement menu for staff with options like positive phone calls to home, right? We're very quick to call the parent and say, Johnny's not behaving, we need a meeting. How quick are you making those calls to say, hey, Miss Jones, I just wanted to give you a quick call to let you know Johnny has been on track for the last 30 days. All of that work that you and I and the team has been putting in together, including little Johnny, has been working. Or even a shout out card on a classroom board or behavior bracelets that say kind friend, wristbands, things like that. You can even have a positive praise bingo for your staff. Track and reward when you catch them giving praise. 5 specific behaviors include behavior celebrations and newsletters or parent updates. As a director, I want you to reflect on a few things. Use these for staff meetings, coaching sessions, or for your journaling. Ask yourself this. Do we introduce and reteach expectations often enough? Second question. Are routines tight and consistent, or are transitions a daily struggle? Another thing to reflect on is, how do we ensure every staff member enforces expectations in the same way? And my last question is, are we catching positive behaviors with the same energy we redirect to the negative ones? And maybe what's one thing you can model this week to support proactive behavior guidance? Here's my closing thoughts. Behavior management support doesn't happen by accident. It happens by design. And when we plan for success, we're going to get fewer meltdowns, fewer power struggles, and more joy in the classroom. And certainly happier teachers. Start with that one expectation. Tighten up one routine. Praise one child. Coach one teacher. Small, consistent moves create big impacts over time. You've got the tools. You've got the team. Now go build a center where positive behavior isn't the exception. It's the culture. And I hope that this helps. This has been the Childcare Director's Chair podcast. See you next episode. We'll keep building early childhood programs where your staff and your kids deserve.